Hi everybody, I'm just back from the hospital, so I thought I'd do a quick video. I've had quite a lot of people who've been in contact ask me, were there any signs or what was happening before I got admitted into hospital, so I thought I would just give you a quick skim of what happened. So I started noticing some symptoms the first week in December time. I had the early signs of constipation, so I wasn't going as frequent, and what was coming out was like much smaller, sorry about the detail, and then as that progressively got worse, I started getting, it was kind of like bowel contractions, which always seemed to hit at night time constantly. They were there during the day, but they tended to switch on and off, whereas at night time it just like hammered me most of the way through the night. So after about a week or so, I got Movicol from one of the GPs, which is just a powder laxative that you mix with water that tastes like chemicals. So I got given some of that. You've got to wait a couple of days to see if it has an impact. And then the week later I spoke to my own local GP. She gave me more Movicol and told me to take more of it, that the dosage that I'd been given before was quite low. So I started taking more of it, by which point my appetite was starting to reduce and my abdomen area was starting to get really bloated. Christmas week, it was pretty bad, so I ended up paying for a colonic irrigation to try, and I thought I just had like hard stools or something that needed to be washed out. So Pauline out in Broxburn at Autumn, she gave me a colonic, which seemed to help and ease things a little bit. That saw me through Christmas week, so I was able to have like a medium-sized Christmas dinner and get some more calories and some more meals into me. And then that ran through until Hogmanay. I also had, so I'd talked about reduced appetite. I started losing weight because I wasn't eating, and my energy levels and my motivation were really, really low. It was difficult. Like I didn't even want to do basic tasks, so which is very unlike me and pretty frustrating. But I didn't have the energy to really be angry or frustrated. It's very, very unlike me. And then just after Hogmanay, it seemed to get worse again. My abdomen blew up massively. I looked very heavily pregnant. I had some of the contractions again, and I basically stopped eating, had no appetite. And then I think one night I took Movicol. I threw it back up like within 10 seconds of putting it in my mouth, and then I was sick up and down, sick all night, barely slept. I saw my GP in the morning for a physical exam. She sent me to the hospital in Edinburgh to get x-rays to rule out anything sinister. So Stacey took me in. So said goodbye to him in the waiting room, assuming I would be out a couple of hours later. And then I got x-rayed, and then I got a CT scan. And then I told Stacey to go home because I just was getting the vibe that they were expecting me to be in overnight. Thankfully my GP had advised to take a little overnight bag just in case, so I did have a few bits and pieces and some books and warm clothes and some shorts and t-shirts and stuff. And then they came and told me about 10 o'clock at night that they thought, well, not they thought that I had a very large bowel obstruction. I needed an emergency operation in the morning. The head surgeon was going to operate on me. My large intestine was very distended, which means it was bloated and blown up because of the food that I had eaten through December wasn't being able to pass through me because of the obstruction, and that I was being moved hospitals to the Western General. So 5 minutes later I'm getting COVID tested, which isn't great when you feel like you've had vomiting and sickness and then somebody's trying to shove this thing down the back of your throat. So I was a bit of a drama queen with my retching. The poor nurse, I think she felt terrible. And then I got whisked to the next hospital with the paramedics 10 minutes after that. So I landed in the best Western. Wouldn't I have liked to have landed in a nice hotel with swimming facilities and a good breakfast buffet? The General Western General, the resident night shift surgeon talked me through the surgery that I needed to have. I was deer in the headlights. She told me I'd probably need a stoma. I took it in theoretically, but I never knowingly knew anyone that had a stoma. It's never been anything I've talked about with anyone. No one in my family's had any bowel issues, so it was a bit of a shock. But I put 100% of my life in their hands and had to trust them because I didn't know enough and I didn't have enough time to be able to find out. So Mo gave me all the details, left me to sleep, and then I was hooked up to all the machines and left to try and get some kip before the operation in the morning. And I'll do another video about the operation and the surgery, the post-surgery recovery. But just to share, I was feeling deer caught in the headlights and complete shock. I think it went too fast for me to really be scared. I spoke to my mum and dad and I spoke to Stacey on the phone briefly just to give them an update. I don't think the three of them slept all night, to be honest, because it was a lot for them to take in and not see me or know that I was okay-ish. Yeah, so that was the lead up. There's actually a prequel to all of that, but that's not really connected, but kind of. But I'll tell you about that in a later video because there's more science stuff to come on that kind of thing. So that's the run up to the surgery. The next video that I'll do is surgery and my 6 days in hospital after my operation, and then I've got some funny videos for you that I'd taken when I got home, mostly stoma related, so hopefully that'll make you smile. And if you don't know much about stomas, hey, you'll be getting educated too. So see you in the next video.